Well, welcome to Retirement Talk, the show that gives you wealth strategies. What?
This is a dumb
That's okay. This is gonna be. Just let it be fun.
All right.
And today, John, we are going to enter the Metaverse, and I don't know why I have to talk like a robot, but we're going to go into the Metaverse. And now you can leave the Metaverse. I'm not sure what world you're in right there, but
I'm not even sure what world I'm in.
I think you were enjoying it. So, the Metaverse, man, what a kind of controversial topic, even, that so many people don't even know what it is. I think when we first introduced it, you asked if it was a laxative, and while it may be for some, today we're not talking about laxatives. We are talking about the actual Metaverse. What is it? How do you participate in it? Should you participate in it? And then what do we think about it? And so the Metaverse essentially is just a virtual reality world. Usually you play it in a video game or something like an Oculus, but essentially you're taking your real self and putting yourself into a virtual world, and you can actually live in that world, and there's some crazy things you can do. But the Metaverse, big topic, we're going to help unpack a little bit, just to help you understand what's going on in the Metaverse today.
Well, I got two teenage boys, and an 11-year-old. My 11-year-old knows more about the Metaverse than I do. We actually went to one of these places where you could do these video games, which was a little scary event for me. But the theory on some of this is that it could actually eventually have its own economy. You could barter and trade. So is it going to grow to that? I mean, your guess is as good as mine. But 10 years ago, we wouldn't even thought this would have been a reality.
Yeah. Well, there is a Metaverse out there that Snoop Dogg, you can buy real estate, okay, in this Metaverse. You can buy real estate. Snoop Dogg bought some primetime real estate, and you could pay upwards of like 6 figures to buy real estate in this fake world that people are. And again, the idea is it's going to become an economy, right? Inside this Metaverse will have its own economy, its own economic systems buying VR real estate, right? I mean, you want to be in certain neighborhoods just like you do today to be able to get invited to these parties and things inside the Metaverse. And so it is a real thing. It's happening right now. It's been going on for many years. But the idea is to be able to create a whole new world, essentially a virtual world that you can choose to live in as much as you want, but also have an economy that it even costs to be a part of.
Well, Dan, let's be honest. When you're talking about Snoop Dogg being in the Metaverse, he just smokes his weed in every interview that he does, and he probably goes into the alternative Metaverse.
He's lived there for a long time.
He didn't even need to pay for that, other than whatever it cost him for a joint between him and Elon Musk. I mean, how do you get into one of those interviews or whatever? But you know, this is even growing now, though, where you're seeing people in Wall Street actually begin to see this and adapt to this. You know, I remember when this first came up, and people thought that was crazy. It was a lot like cryptocurrency, but if you go to and you want to invest in Metaverse, you can actually go to an exchange-traded fund with Round Hill Investments that they offer one that's an ETF. It's called Metaverse ETF, and literally invest in this now. So it is growing. The public's interest in this is growing, and Wall Street is actually growing in this interest of it.
Yeah, it is. So in the real world, you can invest in the Metaverse through these things. Even Facebook, right, changed their name to Meta, right? Because they're anticipating this wave coming. And other social media platforms and things like Snap and NVIDIA are creating their own Metaverse. And it is a big risk. Let's just address that real quick. You can make a lot of money in the Metaverse. You can make a lot of money in crypto. You can lose a lot of money as well. That's why it's a risk. The other thing is right now, these things aren't regulated. And so there's a lot of fraud going on to the tune of billions of dollars inside this. But there's a world out there called Decentraland. And it's a metaverse, kind of like YouTube has many different platforms. And to get into that, you need to participate, buy mana, which is the cryptocurrency. And so you're actually buying to get into here. And again, you can get on the platform, you can buy real estate. There's lots of different things you can do inside of there. But it's this VR world. There was a movie called Ready Player One. Reminds me a lot of what the metaverse is trying to be. And it was a lot of these people that lived in severe poverty, and their way out of that was into this video game. And in the video game, they could be whoever they want to be. They actually raised money. They had to have money inside the game to be able to participate. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. I mean, there's going to be a lot of people, in my opinion, that actually consistently live inside this virtual reality metaverse, because ultimately they're free to be who they want to be, right? That's the attraction to it. I can be whoever I want to be in this virtual reality world. And there are a lot of ways, again, to invest in it. Our thoughts on the metaverse, it is a real thing. It's out there. I think it's here to stay for a long time. In fact, there are going to be a lot of different platforms, though, and each one of these platforms will likely have their own currency that you're going to be able to participate in. Picking the right one, it's a lottery pick. It's a 1 in a quadrillion shot. Not saying don't have some fun out there, but know that there is a big risk, and make sure that you're willing to accept that risk, even if it means losing everything that you put into it.
Yeah, and you can always delay investing in something like this. I mean, one of our big beliefs is if you want to take a speculative stance, which is what we would consider this, very highly speculative, with a very small portion of your money, great. It's like buying a lottery ticket. But really, anytime you're investing in anything that's unregulated, you have to be really, really careful. And if you do decide to invest in something like that, it should be a very small percentage of your money that you're willing to lose if it came down to that. Well, folks, thanks for watching our show. Be sure to hit our subscribe button, or you can also go to retirementtalk.com.